Hello, everybody on the Master Sha Tao Toronto social media channels. We are so excited to be here with you. Please share with us. Where are you joining us from? And what inspired you to join us today? You are at Experience the Power of Awaken Your Spiritual Channels, and we have an exciting hour in store for you. This is a really amazing time that we're going to have together. We're going to have two live special guests receive a reading, a blessing, and we're going to learn about awakening our spiritual channels. This is a really powerful and most special hour. So be sure to share this with your loved ones. Click the share button, click the like button, and join us. We're so happy to have you here. And it is my greatest honor and privilege to introduce to you one of our leading master teacher healer practitioners here at the Master Sha Tao Centre Toronto and globally through the Tao Academy. He has been one of my teachers and has personally touched and transformed my life in absolutely such profound ways with his wisdom, with his blessings, and so much more. He has been studying with Dr. and Master Sha himself for over 20 years, and he has personally trained and assisted in training over 6,000 soul healing practitioners all around the world. He is also an author of Divine Joy and of The Greatest Love book, one of my favorite books. If you have not seen The Greatest Love book, you must check it out. And we are so excited to experience the power of awakening our spiritual channels. So without further ado, let us welcome Francisco Quintero.
Thank you, Alexia, and welcome everyone from around the world. Very happy, delighted to be here with all of you. This will also be a great opportunity for each of you also to ask questions. If any questions come up throughout the hour about awakening your spiritual channels, about the spiritual channels, I'll be happy to answer them. So thank you, everyone, from my heart and soul. So I'm going to first start off by sharing a little bit about what are the spiritual channels and my own journey of awakening my spiritual channels. So I met Dr. and Master Sha about 20 years ago. Before that, I would say that my spiritual channels were open, but I didn't have a name for it. I didn't, it was all new to me, actually. So I studied physics, I studied mathematics, I was teaching, but I got sick. So I started to learn the teachings of Dr. and Master Sha. And then something started to happen. And as I was learning how to heal myself physically, I actually started to open my spiritual channels and I started to understand deeper what they are, how to use the spiritual channels, and what kind of benefits and how we can use them to guide our life. So I remember, this was about 20 years ago. I was going to class all the time with Master Sha. I had the great opportunity to just study with him about 20 minutes away from my home. And every time he was leading a class, my third eye started to open. I started to see spiritual images. And then I started to take classes from Master Sha directly from him. And he started to teach me how to understand spiritual images, for example, how to receive a message from divine Tao source, one of our spiritual fathers or mothers in heaven, like Kuan Yin, Amitofu, Mother Mary, angels. And it just became so fascinating to me. And I had the great honor to receive a lot of direct training teachings from Master Sha on using my spiritual channels, even to this day. So in that journey of awakening, I also began to train others. I'm one of Master Sha's leading teachers, so I helped to train many of his teachers, many students to awaken their spiritual channels. Everyone can open their spiritual channels. one of the most important things about opening your spiritual channels is developing accuracy about gaining access to high-level information, wisdom, knowledge, and for that accuracy to be a very high level so that when people receive that message, they can do something with their lives. It could bring healing. It could bring life transformation. Okay. So I'm going to be sharing a slide here. So give me 1 second. So we're going to go deeper into understanding the spiritual channels. Okay. So what are the spiritual channels? Okay. The spiritual channels are the passageway to the soul. Think of that. They're a passageway to the soul. It's a way for the soul to connect to us, for the soul to give us information, for the soul to give us wisdom, knowledge. Okay? There's two types of passages. One is from our inner soul to your heart and your mind. Okay, so your own soul is connected to your heart and mind. You could get messages from your soul. And also something called your inner soul passageway to the outer souls. What do I mean by outer souls? Outer souls are like the sun, the moon, the soul of the Milky Way galaxy, the soul of heaven, divine Tao source, your spiritual fathers and mothers. They're outside of you. So we can connect to inner souls, like our body soul, or we could connect to outer souls. And they have different passageways in the body. Okay? So why is it important to open your spiritual channels? Okay. There's a lot of benefits. Now is a very special time here on Mother Earth. You know, we are in a time of change. We are in a new era. And in this new time period, it's important for us to connect to the soul, for our soul to be nourished, for our soul to receive guidance so that we can follow what does Heaven Tao Source have to say about our lives. Okay, so here are some things for us that we can benefit from opening our spiritual channels. We can connect with inner souls and outer souls. So for example, an inner soul would be like let's say you have spinal column, back issues. Your spinal column, your back has a soul. You can communicate with the soul of your back. You know, how can you get well? What do I need to do for you to align, to be very healthy? Or the soul of your heart, if you have heart disease, you know, what do I need to do to heal my heart, to open my heart, to communicate to your own soul, to get messages from your own soul? Outer souls, the soul of the moon, the stars, the galaxies. It could be a saint, an angel, or a Buddha to get messages from them. Okay, an outer soul can be, many people want to receive a message from a loved one who has transitioned. Okay, that's an outer soul. We can get a message. How is our loved one doing? When we open our spiritual channels, it will also help us to understand the purpose of our life. Okay, what is the purpose of my life? What is the purpose of my physical life? What is the purpose of my spiritual life? We can get guidance through our spiritual channels for every aspect of our life, our health, relationships, finances. For example, if you are suffering from health issues, what do I need to do to become happier and healthier? How can I lose weight? What are some techniques? I've been doing everything possible to heal myself, but still something's blocked. We can use our spiritual channels to gain information. What are the best practices for you to use to heal yourself? Or how to bring more harmony into a relationship? Or how do you transform finances? Or maybe it's your business. Your business is stuck and you want ways to increase revenue, to increase new streams of, products or services. We can use the spiritual channels to also guide business. If you want to communicate with your loved ones or pets, okay, with nature, with the sun, the moon, if you do a moon meditation, I saw that the other day with the moon meditation. Okay, what does the moon have to say during the moon meditation? But with nature, all nature has a soul. You can learn how to communicate from saints, Buddhas, angels, guides, spiritual fathers and mothers, divine Tao source, to receive guidance that can help to guide and bless our life. Okay, so as you can see, there are so many benefits to opening your spiritual channels. Okay, and when we do that, really, your life will change. You're going to be connected to divine Tao source, to the soul world, to the saints, angels, Buddhas, in a most unique way that it can transform your life. It can heal your life. Okay, now, the spiritual channels, there are many different types of spiritual channels. There are 4 main spiritual channels that I want to talk about, okay? And we do have a program that's starting very soon. It's called Awaken Your Spiritual Channels. In that program, I'll explain it more later, but we go over all the techniques and the practices for awakening your spiritual channels, including these 4 major spiritual channels. Layla will be posting that link there as well. So these are the 4 major spiritual channels. We have the soul language channel, which is the language of the soul. You know, some people call it light language, universal language. But the soul language, it has information. So we can access that information. We can translate the soul language to gain wisdom, to gain knowledge, to gain soul secrets. That's like the foundation of the spiritual channels. We also have the direct soul communication channel. That is more having like a direct conversation with divine, with Tao source, with an angel or a Buddha. We're having a direct conversation to receive wisdom and knowledge. Think of the book Conversations with God. It's sort of similar into that. We are having a direct conversation with an outer soul to receive guidance. Okay. The next one is the third eye channel. The third eye channel is to see spiritual images in the soul world. And many people love to open up their third eye. So there are some techniques to widely open up your third eye, to see more clearly with your third eye, to understand the image and what does it mean. Okay. And the last one is called direct knowing channel, which is like instant knowing. Now, these are the 4 major spiritual channels, but as I said, there could be others. For example, some people, I have some students who've taken my training and they end up becoming like animal communicators, where they're communicating with animals, but they have like a special ability to do that. Okay. It's a form of direct soul communication, but they have an enhanced version of working with animals, communicating with animals. That's a type of spiritual channel. I have some clients who can who can smell like heavenly flowers and scents and smells from heaven. So that's a type of spiritual channel as well, because it's providing information. Okay. So these are the 4 types of spiritual channels that we can develop, and they all sort of work together, and we all sort of have some of us, we are very strong in one of these areas, or maybe we need to develop these other areas. Okay, so all of us, though, can always continue to work on developing, awakening our spiritual channels, because we can always gain greater and greater access to that information. I work with many students from around the world in developing their spiritual channels. When someone is beginning to awaken their spiritual channels, think of it like a connection, a channel. And at the beginning, it's quite small. You know, the information is limited. It's coming through. But everybody can do it. Everyone can open your spiritual channels. But as you begin to do practices, and what I appreciate about the practices of Dr. and Master Jigong Sha is that they can widely open the channels very quickly, purify the channels so that the clarity of the information, the accuracy of the images and messages, and the messages you receive carry a high frequency vibration. So what I see happening is that channel just, it widens over time and then gets wider and wider. When you have a nice big spiritual channel that's very pure, full of light, you're gaining higher level wisdom. you're accessing higher levels of information. You're accessing higher level truth. And that information then creates a field of love, a field of light. And that field, when you transmit those messages to others, can bring about healing and life transformation. So to open your spiritual channels, it is not just to have fun and receive messages. They actually are helping you to heal and to transform people's lives. It's also helping you to receive the spiritual guidance to help you to work on transforming different aspects of your life. Or sometimes we get stuck. You know, when's the best time to get spiritual guidance is when you feel stuck. You've done everything possible, or you've thought about everything possible, but you feel stuck. Then that's a really good time to actually, receive some spiritual guidance, because that spiritual guidance are messages from heaven, from Tao source, from the soul world, saints, angels, that can then guide us to get unstuck and then move forward in our lives. Now, some people think that when you open your spiritual channels, that if you open your third eye, for example, that you're just going to see some wild psychedelic images, so colorful and radiant and vibrant. That is not necessarily what the third eye is. The third eye is an energy center that everybody was born with. You have a third eye energy center. It's located near the pineal gland. It's about the size of a cherry. Everyone can develop that energy center. When you begin to develop it, though, some people will begin to see into the subtle world. To open the third eye is to see the spiritual images in the subtle world, to see the spiritual images in the invisible world. They're like fine messages, fine images, and we have to learn how to be able to recognize them, okay? Because those messages carry a teaching. They carry a message. Or when you open your direct soul communication channel, many people think you might hear a loud voice from divine Tao source. It's very loud. It's not like that. It may happen. It'd be wonderful it did, but it may not happen like that. It's more about listening to the heart, listening to the subtle messages that the soul world, divine Tao source, are giving to you in your heart. So those are some misconceptions that I just wanted to clarify about that as you begin your journey to open your spiritual channels, okay? So feel free to ask any questions, everyone, okay? Say hello. Feel free to ask questions. We do have a question here from Ridhima. She asked, how would we know which souls to connect with respect to the situation or the challenge we are facing? That's a very good question. So here are different ways that we can handle that, okay? First is, some people always love to connect to one particular saint, angel, or Buddha. That's always appropriate to do. If you feel deeply connected to a saint, angel, or Buddha, by all means, you can always connect with that saint, angel, or Buddha to guide your life. You form like a relationship with that saint, angel, or Buddha. And that relationship is very sacred, very important. So you can continue to do that. It doesn't matter what your situation or the challenge that you are facing. All these saints, angels, and Buddhas, they will give us guidance for any aspect of life. That's one thing that you can do. Or some people love to connect to divine or to Tao source, okay? Or if you believe just in universal oneness, okay? That's also okay. So you could connect to the saint, angel, Buddha based on what your own spiritual beliefs are, or universal light, universal oneness. But the technique is the same, okay? So that's one thing that you can do. The other thing that you can do when you have a life issue or situation, what you can do is you can use your spiritual channels actually and to ask, who is the best person which soul is the best person to ask this question? Because there are some souls in the soul world who, saints, angels, and Buddhas, they're like experts. Some are experts in business. Some are experts in in relationships. Some are experts in different aspects of life. So you may get a message. What happens to me actually is a student will come, they will tell me what their life issue is or challenge. And sometimes I'm going to connect to Tao Source. And as I'm doing that, all of a sudden, wow, I get a message, or I feel the presence of a different saint, an angel or Buddha next to me. So I have to change. Be like, this saint wants to speak to you instead. So that's another thing that could happen is when we do that. So those are some different things that you can do, Rihima, when you are trying to connect to a soul with respect to the situation. Okay. Alan is asking, when you are doing a flow, how do you know if it's not your intuition giving you the message, and how to confirm it's a message from the divine? Okay, good. Okay, so first of all, your intuition is sort of a spiritual channel in itself. To develop your intuition is a type of spiritual channel where you're gaining information. So Alan, you could already have one of your spiritual channels open. It's sort of like the direct knowing channel. The direct knowing channel is like that instant knowing. You just know, like when something's right, you know when something's not, or doesn't feel good. That instant knowing, that intuition feeling you're feeling is part of your spiritual channels, actually. Now, when you get a message from divine, Tao Source, or from a saint, angel, or Buddha, and if you feel the message is one that will enhance your life, one that will bring greater love, peace, and harmony to a situation, to a challenge, you feel more open in your heart. Good message. Generally speaking, that is a good, positive message. Trust that message. If the message is not creating love, peace, harmony in your life or between people, if it's, taking advantage of others, or if it's causing hurt or harm, or if you feel that your heart closes, you just feel the frequency actually drop, then you know, okay, maybe this was my mind. Maybe this was a false message. Those are some simple tips, Alan, that you can use, when identifying the messages and knowing where they're coming from. Okay? Okay, great questions. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring on Cassandra now. Cassandra has a life situation. She was selected today to be a demo, and she's going to explain the situation. And then I'm going to do a spiritual reading for her using my spiritual channels. And what you're about to see is what you actually can learn in Awaken Your Spiritual Channels program. Okay, so let us bring on Cassandra at this time.
Hello.
Okay, welcome, Cassandra. Okay, nice, Cassandra, maybe you can share, first of all, tell me why you were interested in getting this spiritual reading, and then you could share what your life situation is at this time.
Sure. Well, I've been practicing opening my own spiritual channels, and I just got my Tao hands at the end of February. So I've just been very inspired by all the work you all do. And yeah, Alexia invited me, and I was just so grateful for this opportunity, given that there's just a lot going on in my life that I would love clarity on. So thank you so much.
So maybe share what you need clarity with.
Sure. So I've been running a sustainable fashion business for the last 5 years, and COVID really just, affected my business so much. So I moved into doing some consulting work and got a few clients to kind of help me financially in the social media world. So it's been skills that I was able to develop over the years of running my business, and now I'm offering that to people. But now my business has become my side hustle, and it just feels like I have so much on my plate. And what I'm doing is I'm actually moving out of selling a product and into offering a service. And at the same time, I just feel like I have so many passions, and the business was really built a lot on environmental activism and my love for sustainability and the earth, and then wanting to help people more so with this sense of spirituality and embodiment that I've been studying over the last few years. I'm also working to help women with that, and yeah, so it just feels like I have a lot of things at play, and sometimes it just gets overwhelming and confusing. I also feel like I don't always have the time to give to my business that I would like. And so yeah, it just feels a bit confusing in like the lack of clarity, yet at the same time I do feel like I'm slowly moving in the right direction. It's like you're just moving and sort of following the flow, but I would just love some clarity. And I guess there's one more little thing.
Yeah.
So in all of this, I moved back with my parents in January, and I've been saving money and received lots of. I feel like I'm really grounding into my financials, and just also wanting to build my spiritual channels and myself outside of kind of the environment at home, and was wondering also like about clarity on moving out, because that kind of came up and I found this magical place, and then all of these fears came up and I ended up not getting the place. And so it's fascinating when you say like the divine is really when you feel the love, peace, and harmony, and anything outside of that is not. So it's interesting when we listen to that other side, how we get pulled into a different direction. So I know that was kind of a lot of stuff. But
Yeah, so now I can see why you need some clarity. Great. Okay, so close your eyes, Cassandra. I'm going to now do the spiritual message.
Okay, thank you.
And just ground yourself and listen with your heart to the message. Everyone who's here with us today, also close your eyes and just listen to the message. Okay, listen with your heart. And I'm going to connect with my spiritual channels to connect to Tao Source to give Cassandra guidance. What does heaven have to say for Cassandra about all these life challenges or situations? How? This is the Tao Source. My most beloved Cassandra, wake up, my dear daughter. Wake up, my dear daughter. Wake up, my dear daughter. It is time now to shine your light. It is time now to really go deep into who you are. You have waited far too long to share your gifts, your abilities with others. You have many great skills, abilities to share. It is recommended, first of all, to tell you, it is time. It is time to begin new, to come back and focus on your business. You may have to change your business somewhat, for we are now living in different times. But what you bring to others is very great, our dear daughter. The guidance for you is to go back to your business, on the services, on the fashion, and bring a new idea together to empower others to feel more connected to their heart. What you do very well is to bring people to their hearts, to connect people to their hearts, That may be through fashion. That may be through practices and services to embody this more deeper. But this is what you can bring to others. In your business model, if it is not currently present, add something that will allow you to connect to people, your clients, to their heart. Allow them to bring their passion out. For you, beloved one, it is time to bring about 70% of your time back to your business. If you do this now, you will strengthen your business. You will allow your business to become stronger. And within 1 year's time, you will be in a very different place. Do not wait too long. If you focus only on your consulting work, you may find 1-2 years later, your business has been left alone without it being nourished. So the guidance is to go back to nourish your business, beloved daughter. Do not focus too much on so many things. Focus on 3 things at the most, beloved daughter. Bring your energy, bring your Shen Qi Jing, your soul, heart, mind, and body to your business. That is where you will have success. Do not give up on your wishes and your hopes. There is still great opportunities for you to fulfill your desire, your heart's desire. And for your home, the guidance is for you to wait about 6 months' time, and then you can begin to look for a new home. For a new home is very important for you. It will bring new creativity, new creation into your life. This is the message and guidance. You are most loved and blessed, the Tao Source. How? Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tao Source. Okay.
Thank you, thank you.
How do you feel, Cassandra?
Wow. I feel so much gratitude, and I had like tingling in my body at times, and it just felt like I really needed to hear that.
Was that message clear for you? Did it make sense for you?
Yeah, it's so interesting because just a couple weeks ago I was writing out like my life purpose statement, and a lot of it was the heart that you were saying, you know, getting people to connect to the heart. So it was just like, whoa. and yeah, and I think the more that I connect to that, the more it will just unfold, right, in the way that it's meant to, and what exactly it's going to be. And it's just more like coming back to the heart, and I know I'm on the right path. And the focus that was guided, you know, making sure I'm taking only 3 things on, and 70% is my business, like that was wonderful. And the 6 months, waiting 6 months. So it's good. It's so good to hear. It's kind of like there was this part of me that wasn't sure if this was the right time right now. So thank you.
What I hear is that over those 6 months, you'll become financially secure, that you will be in a stronger place to then make that move. And your business will be in a very different place.
Yeah, I feel that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Cassandra. Thank you for taking the time to be here. Congratulations on your message. Okay, I wish you good luck on your new business. Okay, beautiful. Okay. Robin said that was a beautiful and powerful reading Francis, awesome guidance. Hilda, what an awesome gift to receive guidance and message from the source. Annette said, thank you, Francisco. It was flowing from Tao Source. I saw Cassandra bringing joy to many people through colors and clothes, somehow enhancing people through choice of colors and style, bringing happiness through their joy and how they can see themselves. And Shari said, congratulations, Cassandra. What a wonderful and blessed message. I'm excited for you and your bright future. Wonderful. So these are the messages that can help to guide us to transform our lives. And they're also healing. These messages, these messages actually clear the blockages. When we hear messages from Tao Source, from saints, angels, and Buddhas, they provide, it's not just the message. There's a field of light that's coming in, helping us to remove any obstacles, because we get clouded. When we're stuck, we get clouded in our negative information, and we have to clear that. And when we get those messages, it brings greater clarity. Then we can take action. We can start to make those changes in our life. Okay, so that's very beautiful. Give me 1 second here. Now, in the spiritual channels, there's actually something physical. A lot of people think it's just something outside of you. I'm going to actually show you a diagram. Our spiritual channels, here's one of your spiritual channels. There's actually something connected to your body. It's not just something outside of you, but there are energy points in the body, okay? Between the shoulder blades, you see between the shoulder blades, there's like 2 spiritual holes there that we receive messages from that come through there. And then it flows through into our heart center, known as the message center, and then out goes up to our brain to analyze the message. There's actually something physical. It's not just outside of you. In the program Awaken Your Spiritual Channel, you're going to learn about all these passages, ways, how to develop them, how to purify them, so that you can awaken your channels very deeply. And there's one more here. Here's like the third eye channel. A lot of people love to open their third eye, but there's also a passageway. The key to opening your third eye is actually not to focus directly in the third eye. You go down, you go to the base, to the Hui Yin. That's an acupuncture point at the base, the root chakra. You open up, the Kundalini is slightly above that, where you see this first arrow at the bottom, the Kundalini, okay, the kidneys. All of that energy from the base, it rises up then to open your third eye. So we're going to learn a lot of practices to open the third eye. That's one of my expertise, is the third eye in the program Awaken Your Spiritual Channels. Okay, so just wanted to show you that there is actually something physical happening inside your body when you begin to develop your spiritual channels. All of them are very, very important. Okay, if you want to have, for example, widely open direct soul communication channel, your heart center needs to be very open, purified. So there's a lot of practice for that. Okay, so I'm just going to check to see. Feel free once again to ask any questions that you may have. Okay, we are now going to bring on our second guest, Mauricio. Mauricio, if you could come on. Okay, welcome, Mauricio.
Hello.
Okay, Mauricio, if you can share maybe why were you excited when you learned that you're going to receive a spiritual message, and maybe also share your life situation?
Well, I was really excited because Alexia invited me. I didn't know. I had some sort of blurage in my mind where I don't know where to go in my life or what to do now. What's the next step? What is the next step in my life, right?
What is it? And where are you right now in your life? Maybe tell people where you are in your life and what are some possible things in your life that you want to do.
I'm just graduated from college. I started a business, but it didn't go well. I'm trying to start another business about drones, producing and selling drones. And also I'm looking for a job at the same time. So I was thinking on maybe go back work with my dad because my dad has a business, or keep looking for a job, or maybe start this new venture and hope the best of it. Or
What kind of business does your dad have?
he's distributor of exhaust systems.
Okay. Okay.
And
Very
yes.
good. Okay. Okay. So close your eyes, Mauricio. Everyone could close your eyes. And I'm going to connect. And just bring your mind, your awareness to your lower abdomen. And relax. So I'm going to receive the message from Kuan Yin, the Buddha of compassion. And this message is for Mauricio to help guide him. How? This is Kuan Yin, my most beloved son. Take time. Be patient. Allow your heart to be open. You are at a very important stage in your life, my dear son. I wanted to share this message with you. We will give you guidance both for your physical life, but also your spiritual life. We will begin with your spiritual life first, for that is what is most important, our dear son. You, my dear one, have a deep connection to me, Kuan Yin. You have a deep connection with many saints in heaven. You have a deep connection with ancient Tao teachings. For you, my son, in this life, you are to develop your spiritual healing powers. This is very important for you. For your soul has waited so long to reach enlightenment. It is ready to serve people. It has a deep desire to bring more love, compassion to others. And this will happen in this life. Stay focused in your spiritual development, our dear son. And I will always be by your side. In terms of your physical life, what is recommended for you, my dear son? There are two things that you need to do. The first, our dear son, we recommend for you to first return to work with your father. What you need to do is build a financial base to start a new business. Take about 1 year's time to build your finances, to have enough revenue, money, to build a new business. It is time to think about this new business. This new business will be around one of your passions of the real estate, of property development. But you will need time to do this. First, go back to work with your father. Build your base of finances. And then, in about 1 year, begin to invest in a new business. We don't want you to go back to develop the old business. Start fresh. Start completely new. And find a business partner who you can collaborate with. not only one business partner. The guidance is to find 2 additional business partners. The magic number is 3. By working with 3, you will have a greater possibility of having success. In terms of your drumming business, you can continue this, but this will be a side business. It is and brings you great joy. You may continue it, our dear son. This is the message we give to you on this day. Kuan Yin, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Okay. How do you feel, Mauricio?
I feel great. I started running in tears when I heard it was Wan Yin. I This is so beautiful. I mean, I'm going to be on a retreat of Tao Hands this weekend. So listening that I need to develop my spiritual life further and all this connection, I have feel that inside me, but I haven't go further, or maybe my path is going slower and now it's going to go higher. I don't know, but this is so beautiful. I needed to hear this. This is clarifying my mind in ways unimaginable. Thank you, Master
Right.
Francisco
Thank you,
Quintero.
Mauricio. Okay. Good luck on well, I'll see you on the weekend because I'll be there too. And then good luck on your business adventures. Okay. Thank
Yes,
you,
thank you.
Mauricio. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Very heart touching. Okay. So please share any questions. Also share how do you feel about hearing the message Mauricio received. Okay. So as you saw with Cassandra, with Mauricio, you know, these messages bring about that our hearts open. These messages heal our heart, you know, especially when we're stuck, when we, you know, these messages help to clear those blockages. Okay. So, you know, that's why it's important to open our spiritual channels. You can also learn how to do this. Okay. I work with hundreds of students around the world. I also coach students on opening their spiritual channels, how to develop their accuracy, but also how to really bring that higher frequency vibration of these messages, okay, to bring about healing to people's lives, okay? And, you know, these messages can really create your transformation. So you can use the spiritual channels to guide your life, like the 2 Mauricio and Cassandra today, about any question that you may have, any life situation that you may have. Isn't it wonderful if you could every day wake up in the morning, receive a message from a saint, an angel, or a Buddha, to receive a message on what you need to focus on today or how you can grow your business, okay? Everyone can open their spiritual channels, okay? Everyone can also learn, this was called direct soul communication, what I was using today. It's one of the spiritual channels. You will learn that also in the program, Awaken Your Spiritual Channels. So Robin said, congratulations, Mauricio. So happy for your great reading. Guidance from Kuan Yin is priceless. Hilda said, wow, what a beautiful guidance from Kuan Yin. Congratulations, Mauricio. So happy for you. Shari said, congratulations, Mauricio. You look so peaceful and joyous now. Such an amazing message. I wish you the best. Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to share here now a little bit about the program, Awaken Your Spiritual Channels. Okay, so this program comes with wisdom classes. So you're actually going to learn about the spiritual channels, the different passages ways. You're going to learn all the teachings on Thursdays, starting on April 29th. It is recorded for those of you in different time zones and you can't be there live with me. Also, Shara Rourke, Alan Chuck will be assisting me also with those. And so those are 6 weeks of wisdom sessions. And one of my favorite parts is the number 2, the practice sessions. Okay, every day you're going to get on. The wisdom sessions are available on, we'll have live recordings. We'll have more like a Zoom interaction to be able to interact with each other. Practice sessions is a teleconference. During the teleconference, we'll do a lot of practices to really open the spiritual channels. And also I will guide you every day to receive a message, okay? It's very, very powerful. The practice is important, okay? It's easy actually to open your spiritual channels, but what's most important is doing the daily practice to increase the accuracy and the purity of the messages that you receive. So you also get audio and video recordings. You're going to also receive a special transmission of light to develop your spiritual channels further, and handouts as well. Okay, so it's all inclusive. With that, in the program Awaken Your Spiritual Channels, it's a signature program of our center in Toronto, also one of my specialties. There is also an advanced program. So for those of you who have already been working on using your spiritual channels, the advanced program, you do have to apply for it. It's for people who are already more fluent with their spiritual channels, but want to go to that next step and level of your accuracy and purity of your spiritual channels. That advanced program comes with personal coaching from myself, 2 personal coaching sessions, as well as a very high level blessing as well for your spiritual channels, okay? So all of that is available. So, take the opportunity. Layla has posted the links there for you to review that, all the information, and everything is recorded. We're going to start next week. I can't look forward to that. Okay, it's absolutely amazing. Okay, so give me 1 second. Noela said, congratulations to both demos. Thank you, Francisco. Needed to hear this today. Wonderful. Okay. So, the journey of opening your spiritual, it's like going to the gym. You could go to the gym once, learn how to do a particular exercise, learn how to use a particular machine. But if you really want to make a change in your body, okay, you need to keep going to the gym over and over and over, okay? It's the same thing. The spiritual channels are like a muscle. We have to use the spiritual channels consistently, okay? And when we do that, our spiritual channels can open wider and wider and wider. The daily practice is designed for you to really highly develop all those passageways in the channel, in the body, but also to develop to purify the spiritual channel so that you can develop the accuracy. That's actually much harder to develop. You can learn quickly how to open your spiritual channels, but it takes harder to develop accuracy. That takes time, and that's why we need the 4 weeks to really go deep and purify those channels very much. The other thing that when we're working with the spiritual channels is we want to make sure that we always are connecting with the light, okay? Messages of light from divine, from Tao source, with saints, angels, they bring positive messages that can enhance our life. I do see many people out there who are doing spiritual readings, and doesn't always mean that even if the messages that they receive sometimes can be unpleasant messages or dark messages that are creating disharmony. They could also be actually carry truth to those messages, but they're not coming from a place of light. So we also need to transform those and make sure that we're always connecting to light side so that we can receive the highest messages to transform our lives, okay? Mona Lisa said it happens only once a year, and this course will bring all positive changes. Yeah, so this course is only, we only run this program once a year. So we are starting next week, so don't miss that opportunity to take the journey of awakening your spiritual channels. I only offer it once a year, and it's really, I believe you all will enjoy it. And it's my favorite course. I always just, to receive messages from heaven, from Tao source, from saints, you just feel so much love, actually, and so much light that just showers you. So it becomes just the most sacred thing to do, to be able to awaken your spiritual channels and to receive messages. Okay, so don't miss it. Grab the opportunity, click the link there, learn more about the program, Awaken Your Spiritual Channels. And I look forward to being with all of you next week on Thursday. So I thank you all. Have a most beautiful rest of the day, and we'll bring Alexia back on to do any closing here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Francisco, and thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, everyone, for engaging in the comments, and to our very special guests, Mauricio and Cassandra, for coming on here live, for sharing and for receiving these messages and all the powerful frequencies and vibrations that flowed through. And of course, Francisco, what a blessing to hear these messages and to receive this next level wisdom and guidance. I can personally share with you that the course I have experienced to Awaken Your Spiritual Channel with Francisco completely transformed and uplifted my life beyond words, and all the people around me. Having this wisdom, having these abilities is infinite, and having a teacher like Francisco to guide you is truly, truly incomparable to anything else that I have experienced ever on this journey. So do not miss this opportunity. As I believe was already mentioned, this course only happens once a year with Francisco, and it is so next level. So definitely click the link to learn more. And we are always here to support you if you have questions, any curiosities as well. And be sure to share this video with all of your loved ones, share it with your community online so others can benefit, can receive the inspiration, the healing frequencies and vibrations. And you also heard Mauricio mention a Tao Hands training coming up with Dr. and Master Sha. So if you also would like to learn more about receiving Tao Hands and what that transmission is, you can click the link to learn more about Tao Hands as well. So we wish you all a beautiful evening, morning, day, afternoon, wherever in the world you are, and send you our greatest love. We look forward to connecting with you all very soon. Bye for now, everybody.